Hi, I'm Ken Jr. and welcome to Train World TV. Here you'll find the latest and greatest in model trains. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. And if you're new to our channel, we're glad you're here, and I invite you to click the subscribe button and hit that bell notification so you'll never miss a video. Now, we'd also love to send you exclusive deals and special announcements that you won't find anywhere else. So be sure to sign up for our emails, TW Text, and stay connected with us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Don't forget, you can shop online at trainworld.com for all your model train needs. Now, without further ado, enjoy today's video.
Hello everyone. Welcome to Thomas Thursday, the August 2026 edition. We are back for yet another exciting stream this evening. I am here with an amazing guest who has done incredible Thomas videos in the past few years with explosions and a plethora of Thomas Bachmann engines. He is known as Sooty Will. How are you doing this evening, man?
I'm doing good, Christian. Thank you so much for having me here.
My pleasure, and thank you so much for coming on. And of course, the man of the hour, he is here with a brand new set of Bachmann Thomas announcements. One of the best we've seen in many years, in my opinion. That is none other than Matt Stern. He also has a few other samples. He didn't hint at what they are, but we'll have to see what they are in just a few minutes.
I gotta get the actual live reaction from you, Christian.
Well, not from me, but for everyone. But yes, how are you doing this evening, Matt?
Doing good. How are you?
Not bad. It's hot down here. The dehumidifier is on and off, but that's okay. We're keeping it pushing, and I'm very, very thrilled to see everything else that's in store for today. But as usual, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We have hellos, big comments all over the place. People are reminding me of my facial expression. It's to come. It's to come. All right. We're going to build the anticipation for that, Chaz. All right. Don't worry. Okay. How you doing, RJ? Blake, great to see a lot of familiar faces in the chat. And thank you especially to those who are tuning in from overseas. Because as we know, in the United States, it's the middle of the day or in the evening, perhaps for those on the East Coast. For those of you in Europe, China, Korea, it's the middle of the night and you're tuning in. So we really, really appreciate you taking the time to do that live. All right. But yeah, without further ado, we're going to jump right into this very, very special stream with the man, we all know him, Matt Stern of Bachmann Trains.
All right. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if the products I'm going to talk about need any introduction. I think they've been all over the internet already, but I'm going to go ahead and introduce them anyway. So we at the Anna Murray National Train Show in Chattanooga 2 weeks ago, we announced a couple of new locomotives in HO scale.
That's right.
Pull up a brochure here. Here they are. That is, of course, Thomas and Percy retooled and updated to meet the standard of our models that we've been putting out in the last few years. And of course, I've seen some speculation online about, is this how they're actually going to look? Is this? So this is not our CAD renders. I should be clear about that. This is just promotional artwork from the Thomas and Friends brand that we got permission to use for the announcement. So that is just literally the exact CGI Thomas and Percy. So we're going to do our best to get as close to that as possible. It's going to be a major upgrade from the models that we have. They're the oldest in the line. Made sense. We started with them back in 2002. They were the very first locomotives in the line. I think I was saying on the stream with Tyler on Monday that Times have moved on with the level of quality that the factory can produce, and and of course, when these were last designed, the CGI series hadn't even happened, so we were going off of very, very rudimentary references at that point. So we've got a lot more in terms of material to base them off of now, and much more high detail capabilities from the manufacturing processes. So excited to bring a new Thomas and Percy to the market.
Fantastic. And just a few questions, Matt. First and foremost, would it be easier if I shared my screen and I pull it up, or do you want to actually just physically show the brochure?
It's probably easier if you put it on the screen, because then I don't have to just do this and cover my face the whole time.
Sure. Absolutely.
And I do apologize, Christian. Obviously, I know you guys will be offering these when they come out, but obviously we don't have pricing or anything yet. So I assume that means they're probably not on the website yet.
No worries. Yeah. So, all right. Can everyone see this clearly? Sorry, my laptop's doing strange things.
Looks good to me.
Yep.
All right. Excellent. All right. So, Matt, I do have a few technical questions, and these are like highly requested questions I've seen, and maybe you don't have the answer to them just yet, but still, I figured I'd ask them.
Whatever I can answer. There's some stuff that I may not be able to answer just because we're not that far along in the process yet.
Okay. Well, first and foremost, as far as the chassis, are those going to be new as well, or is it just the bodies that are going to be amended for these models?
So the chassis are going to be mostly the same. We may do some minor modifications to adapt for the new bodies, but we do intend on using the same chassis, because there's nothing wrong with the chassis or the mechanism. They run well. They're smooth running models, and at the end of the day, that brings down the cost for us, which also brings down the wait time for how long it's going to be until the products come to market.
Awesome.
And of course, if we're able, the more we're able to use from existing parts, the more possible it is to make stuff like this. So if we weren't able to use parts of the existing chassis, this project would have been a taller order.
Absolutely. And with that, are the valve gear then will be completely metal with no plastic parts? Because that was another big question.
Yes, I mean, I believe so. Don't quote me on that, because we're not far. Like, that's one of the things that we're not far enough along in the process that I can give a definitive answer on.
Okay.
But I can't give you a definitive answer yet.
Okay, no worries. Well, guys, you heard Matt. These are official, highly requested models that we've been clamoring for years. And I think just to see, Bachmann's Stanley model, Bachmann's Ryan model, and a lot of the other newer models, these are going to blend right into that in terms of proportion, in terms of style. So it's really, really awesome. And I think one of the biggest things I've seen, actually, Matt, across Twitter, is people are really excited now that these are going to have front coupling, so they can actually pull freight cars, such as the troublesome trucks, around their layouts.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming for those.
Absolutely. And once again, just a reminder, these will have the moving eyes that we've all known for many years. Mm-hmm. And there's a plethora of other questions, but I think I'll just leave it at right that, unless Sooty Will has another question he'd like to ask.
I mean, if you guys want to ask questions, now's the time.
Yeah, for sure. I think we also can expect to see new CGI style faces with the moving eyes for Thomas and Percy there.
Correct. Yeah. So the faces will be based on the most common CGI era of faces, which is, I believe, what we have there in the artwork.
Excellent.
And we obviously, I know there's a big interest in the model era from the fandom, and we certainly recognize that, and we've been trying to do some stuff here and there that does pay tribute to that, and the Railway series as well, with some of our recent announcements and releases. But at the end of the day, the majority of our line does reflect the CGI era, and we have to stay consistent with that.
Very fair. Oh, I actually thought of another question. It's probably too early to answer this, but on the LBSC Thomas, he has some lining on the back of his bunker. And in the CGI series, Thomas didn't for a while, and then eventually he did get his red lining on the back of his bunker. Is there any particular version of CGI Thomas that these pictures were taken from, or that you're looking at for this new updated tooling?
We'll most likely have the red lining on the back of the bunker.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. And also, guys, just to clarify, these are going to be the early CGI renders, not with all the crazy looking rivets. That I think is confirmed too.
Right.
And one other question I did have, Matt. Sorry, I think I just said, are there plans to like re-release like the LBSC Thomas with this new body? Is that also something that's in the works for the future?
Let's take it one step at a time.
All right. Sounds good.
I mean, I think the eventual goal would be to, have these as the standard, but obviously there's costs to consider. There's, LBSC Thomas was initially intended to be a limited run, and it's proved popular enough that it stayed in the line. So it's, it all depends on where things are at the time that these come to market.
Well, Ken, I know you're late to the stream, but I just have to tell you something real quick. James is always complaining about the amount of Thomas variants there are on the shelves. Well, now we've got another one to add to the confusion.
That's it. I hope Matt has come up with a different label or something color-coded so we can know all the differences between all the Thomases. Yeah, really excited about this. Tons of people have been asking about the Bachmann new product. When can they take pre-orders? So I'm going to tell Matt, hurry up with the pricing. And as soon as Bachmann gets the pricing on all this good stuff, we'll be listing it so everybody could take pre-orders, because everybody's wants to get their order in right away. And a lot of people are excited about the new Thomas and Percy variants. So excited about that. Matt, a lot of good stuff, in this packet. So we're excited, and thank you, Christian, for putting this together. One question I did see on the Thomas and Percy, the motor, is that going to change, or is that the same motor?
As things stand right now, it's going to be the same.
Okay.
There may be some modification if it's possible, if it's deemed necessary by the factory to improve performance. That's not always a given. It may be the case that it's not necessary.
Okay.
But as I was saying to Christian earlier, we're going to be doing everything new from the ground up as far as the bodies, but below that we're going to try and use as much of the existing chassis and wheels and all that as we can, as makes sense, because being able to use that stuff that obviously reduce the amount of work and tooling that has to go into it, which means that it makes projects like this more possible.
Okay, and this is the DC variant.
This will be debuted as the standard DC. Yep. Okay,
and is it DCC ready or standard DC?
I'm going to leave you in suspense for that one.
Okay. Well done.
Yeah. I'm just going to very selfishly just say one thing, man. This is just for me personally, but as long as the side rods are completely metal, I'm fully on board, because I hate the plastic crossheads and stuff like that. So
we'll see what we can do.
Yeah.
All right. It's a fine line between trying to pack as much detail in there as possible while also adhering to the 8+ age that we target age range that we have for these, as well as just making sure that the price is affordable as well.
Absolutely. All right, but without further ado, I think we'll pass it on to what I think is the most exciting announcement in this whole brochure, without a doubt. Right, this guy right here.
Yeah, so along with Thomas and Percy, we also threw a surprise announcement in there, which was Diesel 10. And I know there have been we've seen years and years worth of people asking us, can we make Diesel 10? What it's definitely up there in the top 5 most requested locomotives. So we're very happy to be able to start work on this project and officially announce that it's happening. So just like Thomas and Percy, he'll be based on the CGI era, as you can see there in the artwork. Again, not a Bachmann render. That's official Thomas and Friends, or a screenshot or whatever you would call it. So not exactly an exact representation of the model, but again, we're going to be try and stay as true to the prototype as possible.
Awesome. Yeah, guys. I mean, when I saw this announcement, like as Will and I were talking about, and other fans, I mean, we all thought this was pretty much fake. We couldn't believe it when it came
That's
out.
why the Friday night and kind of not leak, but the early announcement with the NMRA members. That's why that was kind of fun to watch from the inside.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
there's only going to be 10 released, so make sure you get your pre-orders as quick
That's why it's called
as
Diesel
you can.
10. Exactly.
Yes,
Only
10. So Christian is in a panic already. But
Christian's already bought up 5 of them. So
yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Save some for the rest of us. What's going on here?
Yeah, Christian.
No one can beat me at scalping. I'm sorry. But yeah, I mean, again, I remember, Matt, this being a requested character since as far back as 2008, when I was only like 9 or 10 years old. And I remember thinking, oh man, is it going to really be possible with, the claw and this and that? And lo and behold, here we are almost 20 years later, and it's announced. So, but, I'm sure people in the chat are very interested to see how pinchy the claw is going to turn out as far as posability and if it's going to open and close. Any details as far as that to share?
So we're currently working with the factory to figure out just exactly how much functionality we can give pinchy. Again, the 8+ age range does factor into it because we can't have too many small parts or the risk of there being components could fall off or anything like that. So that does limit how detailed we can get with the mechanism with the arm. The goal is to kind of strike a balance between detail and functionality. So we're going to try and obviously stay as close to the real thing as possible, but I don't know. It's too early to say exactly how detailed it's going to be, but at this point, our goal is to make sure that it can be raised and lowered by hand. There's not going to be a motor for that because that would just make the price of the model astronomical. And raise and lower. Ideally, I would like it to go 360. We're going to try and work that out again by hand, and then. At this point, I can't even say if pinchy is going to be able to actually open or close or not. Again, it all depends on how we can achieve the most functionality with keeping the appropriate age rating for it.
Got it. Well, really, really exciting stuff. And I think that we're just looking forward to seeing how it does turn out. But to know that it's going to move to some extent already is very exciting.
Yeah, that's kind of a that's a non-negotiable for us. I think it needs to have some level of play value with the crane. Otherwise, why are we doing Diesel 10?
Yeah, absolutely. One other technical question, and I know this is something I've been seeing all over social media, is the CGI render has like this strange gap between the body and the chassis. And I think, maybe you already saw this too, Matt, but I was wondering if that will be fixed for the Bachmann model or if, Mattel's going to be so strict that gap has to stay.
I think we're probably going to have remove the gap. I mean, just for our purposes, when we're manufacturing the shells, it makes it easier on us not to have the gap.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's we'll probably draw a little bit more from the pre-CGI for how that portion of the body where the body meets the chassis looks.
All right, a little bit of model error for the older fans.
There you go, exactly. Even if it's more just for our own functionality purposes.
Nice. And also, with pinchy being so big, it probably will help with like some of those shorter tunnel portals too, I would imagine.
True.
Yeah. You're going to have to be very discretionary about where you run it because it's not going to fit under every tunnel.
Yeah, no doubt. Awesome.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've heard a lot of people say that Diesel 10 would never be possible because he's just too tall.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I would always then think to myself, but it's Diesel 10. If
Right.
you're going to buy him, you're going to be willing to make some sacrifices to your layout because it's Diesel 10.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a legitimate argument. It's a legitimate reason to be concerned about because it does limit the amount of track that he can make it around. But with clearances, with overhead clearances, especially for people who have existing layouts. But like you said, yeah, if that's what's standing in the way between the character being out and not being out, then it's going to be just one of those things people will have to figure out.
Matt, did you tell the fandom you're also going to do it in G scale so it could have an actual play value?
I don't even know what to say.
The fandom always wants more. That's going to be the next request. They want a animated Pinchy Diesel 10.
Let's just
a
figure out
DCC
HO
Pinchy, where you can like push buttons and he moves like in different configurations.
The remote control.
For that, we'll just say let's leave that to the fantastic talent in the modeling community to figure out.
Amazing. Yeah, and Matt, I'm just gonna say the whole the no gap response. You got a lot of happy reactions in the chat. I'll just let you know about that.
Yeah, no, I mean it's we'll do what we can. So
awesome.
But yeah, so yep, that's Thomas, Percy, and Diesel 10, and we have a little bit more as well. Before you move on to the next page, it might be worth just zooming on the bottom of the other page, because it's not exactly a Thomas announcement, but it is something that I think will appeal to the same fandom. And that is we're doing the prototype version of these are the gondolas that we brought out in the Thomas line for narrow gauge very recently. So we're doing the actual paint schemes for the real things. We've got Karst Railway, we've got the Karst Railway Mail Wagon, the Telephone Railway, and Great Western Railway, which I had a few people asking about the heritage of that one, and those were actually on the Karst Railway. The Karst Railway in 1929 was purchased by the Great Western, and it actually stayed under Great Western ownership until it was closed down in 1948. So in that period of time, they actually did paint some of the wagons into Great Western standard colors. So we tried to cover all the eras for that wagon, and that'll look fantastic alongside your Thomas ones. Maybe one or two could even find their way onto the Skarloey Railway. There could always be a story there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've seen layouts where they've actually taken the real life. I forget if it was the high side wagons or one of the other wagons that you've previously come out with, Matt, and then combine them with the Thomas variants. And like you said, they blend right in because it's all the same tooling and make a nice consist of, either the real life Tally Clan or maybe one of the Thomas characters such as Scarlet Renes pulling them all together. So whether you're doing the real life modeling or the Thomas modeling, the two coexist really nicely. So
exactly. But yeah. So on the next page that you were just on a second ago, we do have some rolling stock announcements in HO scale as well. We've got 3 stone wagons using the colors that you would see them in the show, and the chocolate syrup tanker, which I for the life of me can't figure out how it hasn't made it into HO this far. It's been in large scale for so long, but we are bringing it into HO.
Absolutely. And sorry to cut you off there, Matt, but it's really nice, like these wagons, a lot of memories of seeing them in the Blue Mountain Quarry for the CGI Thomas modelers. So those are going to go really nicely with the narrow gauge, high side wagons and gondolas and all the other Blue Mountain Quarry wagons. So, one question I did have, on that note, in addition to what I just said, was as far as the load, is that going to be the same tooling as the China Clay load, just a different paint scheme?
Or it will be,
Okay. Got it. That wasn't a question I remember someone asked me. So it'll be a gray variant of the China Clay load, essentially. And the paint schemes will blend right in to, your existing Blue Mountain Quarry consists, or really any other quarry consists that you may want to recreate from the show, specifically CGI, for those of you who model that. But the chocolate syrup tanker too, I was also wondering the same thing, when this was going to finally make it to HO, and here we are, 8 years later. But I know people have always been asking about the toffee tanker. Is that a possibility for the future? Which I think I know what the answer is, but
I think it's a possibility.
There we go. Yeah. And Chaz, this one's for you. All right. I owe him, but I should have done it on the Diesel 10 page, but I was
there you go. Yeah.
So I didn't do it, but
hey, we need excitement for these too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. I'm so glad that I won't have to keep putting actual stone and sand in my troublesome trucks now. To when I make like quarry sets, I can have just cleaner plastic ones that still look really nice, but won't also make a mess and ruin my truck. So that's very nice to know as well.
There you go.
Awesome.
And then we have one more narrow gauge edition. And this is another one that I think has been, we've had a number of requests for this as well. It's the V-tipper wagon. So staying in the Blue Mountain Quarry theme here. This will be kind of a like you were saying with the high side wagons. This will be another perfect piece to go alongside your stone wagons and on the adjacent narrow gauge tracks.
Absolutely.
And they will have a pivoting hopper, so you will be able to actually, dump them and all that.
Terrific.
Yeah, I've been super impressed with all of the new narrow gauge rolling stock that's been coming out recently. I have seen Blue Mountain Mystery many times, but there were some wagons that I didn't even recognize, and I was really amazed that you guys were able to make them, like the high side wagons and the gondolas. So I got to go back and rewatch that movie so I can spot all these wagons in there.
Yeah, that movie gave us a lot of content to work from.
Yeah.
And then I think we have some N scale if you flip over one page there.
Mm-hmm.
So no new locomotives in N scale because, as you know, we're still working on Henry right now. We've got Diesel and Paxton that are getting close to being ready, but again, still not released yet. So we're allowing the scale to get a little caught up in terms of locomotives. But I think what we are announcing I think it's still pretty good. We've got the natural progression from Gordon's coaches. We've got the Red Express composite coach and the brake coach. So it will be the same cars as you would expect, but with the red and cream paint scheme. We're also doing the Sodor coal wagon and the mining wagon. With those, you will be getting a new tooled coal load because up until this point, as I'm sure we have not had a coal load in N scale. So those will have a newly tooled load added to them. And our ever popular Funfair vans are also going to be joining the N scale range as well.
Nice. Yeah, I knew those Funfair vans were popular, Matt, but I didn't realize they were that popular.
I know. I could say the same thing. Yeah.
So,
which is great. It's always great when something's going to be successful, and then it's even more successful.
Absolutely. Awesome. Really nice selection here.
And then right below that, of course, I think is also a good substitute for having a new locomotive announcement, which is a place for your locomotives. So, of course, we've got Tidmouth Sheds here, which I know everybody knew was coming. As soon as we announced the N scale standard roundhouse, you guys knew this was coming. So yeah, excited to officially announce it. And this is just the HO model here. Just on the as a stand-in. But Christian, can you make me full screen for a second?
Yeah, well, I am zoomed in.
No. I mean, can you bring me onto the full screen?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
I'm gonna try to do this without it completely falling apart because this is a test shot. But here we go. There's this is the first test shot sample of the real Tidmouth Sheds in N scale.
Nice.
Looks amazing.
It's a little different to the if you were at the show in Chattanooga, or if you've seen the photos of the N scale of the N scale standard roundhouse. Obviously they're based on the same base design, but there are some differences. This one does have all the appropriate extra details that make it Tidmouth Sheds.
Nice.
And of course, it's also got the sprung doors, just like an HO as well.
Nice. And the stalls are long enough to accommodate interventions such as Gordon.
Yep, they are. We made sure when we actually had to develop a special track piece to fit in these track end piece, and we measured that to make sure they would fit the longest locomotives.
Great.
Excellent. And I can kind of see that it has those beams on the top and bottom, kind of like the HO one. So is it going to be kind of like a kit that you assemble, kind of like the HO scale one?
Yeah, the assembly is actually going to be exactly the same as the HO one.
Oh, cool.
Just scaled down, which is great because it means it needs no glue. It doesn't need any special tools for construction. It's just snapped together and it stays together. I mean, I would always recommend gluing it to give it a little bit more durability. but it's not necessary. And of course, just like the HO1, it will be modular as well. So if you want to add on to it, you can.
Oh, great.
Will there be an extension pack that you could purchase?
We don't have any plans for that right now. Right now, I'd say you just have to buy 2.
Okay.
But it's not impossible. We could look into that for the future.
Cool.
One of my favorite features also, if you look inside here, I don't know if I can really pick it up. These cross beams inside on the roof look fantastic.
Yeah,
For sure.
Add to the
and the roofs can sort of be lifted off, sort of like on the HO1.
Yeah. I don't want it to fall apart in my hands here, but yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. Cool.
The design is basically a scaled down version of the HO1. So all the features on that are on this. One of the big differences, though, is of course the HO1 also was originally from, I believe it was pre-CGI. So we actually have all the correct color codes for the real thing on this. So the colors will be different to the HO1. They will be actually accurate to the show.
Oh, cool.
And it's not that we weren't accurate with the HO1, but we just didn't have that information at the time that came out.
Oh, cool.
So if you want to go back to the
Yes.
brochure, we have just one more new announcement in there.
Where are you? There you are. Okie doke. Oh, there you are.
And there you go. Yeah, and this is one I think people kind of also guessed would probably happen at some point, considering we have Toby in the line in large scale, and that is of course Henrietta and her sister Hannah, which may have been a little bit more of a left field announcement. I'm not sure. But it always helps if you can use the tooling for more than one thing, and makes these projects possible. So if we've got one character and another character that's so close, why not produce the other character too?
Yeah, very cool.
And these are these are actually just N scale photos because they will be following the same era design as the N scale ones with the faces.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
And that's just about it for that. But we have just a little bit more to cover as well.
Yeah, and we're already 30 minutes in, so actually I'll close off my screen and head it right back to you. Sheesh.
All right.
Where are you? Stop sharing. There you are. Okay.
So I do have a couple other things to show you here. Here's the first one. This is our first production sample of the Northwestern brake van.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I forgot that this one was coming out. Yeah, that looks great.
So this was originally obviously going to be part of the 80th anniversary set, which was not, which obviously is not happening in that form. But we've had so much interest in the brake van on its own, it was kind of a no-brainer to continue moving forward with that as a standalone item. Yeah. And obviously a great tribute to the Railway series as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I have one more thing here, which I think I've put Tim with Sheds on top of. So give me a second here. There we go. Let's see. This is the smallest thing I'm going to show, but arguably the most exciting. So I'm not going to give it any introduction. I'm going to leave it to you to guess what this is.
Oh. There he is.
Yeah. Is it Scotsman's face?
It is.
It is. Okay, all right. For a second, I was like, what is that? I was like, actually, I didn't get it.
I knew instantly who that was.
I'm not a big CGI guy, all right? You have to understand. I like CGI, but I'm not as much as other people. So that's why it took me a second there, but it looks great. Now I can see it.
There you go.
A lot
So
of
yeah,
people asking about ETA on the Scotsman.
We don't have an ETA right now. We're working out some stuff with the design. But our goal is still 2027. But I think tangible evidence that he is coming along.
Nice. And the eyes are going to be moving, right?
They are, yeah. They're in place here for the
Okay, I think I think that's why I got confused for a second. I was like, wait a second.
I could take them off, but I think it looks
Okay.
a little creepy with the eyes out. So, but you can see on the back here that they do have the clips for the moving eye mechanism.
Nice.
Yep. If it can have moving eyes, it will have moving eyes.
While we got the face of the Flying Scotsman, why don't you take a screenshot and tag Bachmann, tag Train World, and put in the chat. We're going to do a raffle on this. I don't think it's adults, but it seems like a teenager hat or a Thomas hat, and it's Thomas the Tank Engine #1 hat over here. So we're going to raffle off this hat for tonight. So take a screenshot and tag Bachmann, tag Train World, and say hashtag Flying Scotsman and the state you're from. And Christian will pick out a winner, and we'll make it nice and easy instead of a Christian stumping episode. All right.
All right. And I do have one more thing I want to show off here. That's again not exactly a Thomas product, but I think will have some appeal to the Thomas fans. And this is something that's actually on due imminently. So it should be at Train World within the next month or so at the latest. And that is our Strasbourg Railroad passenger cars in HO scale.
Oh, awesome.
So this is a box sample. The box is,
I think, Matt, you may be sold out already.
We may be, but I mean, hopefully you guys still have some.
Yeah, we have a limited quantity, but I'm pretty certain, if I recall, they may be sold out already. So if you haven't got your pre-order in, make sure you get your pre-order in. And these are definitely going to be very popular and hot.
Absolutely, yeah. And
a lot of people in the Thomas community are big Strasbourg fans.
Yeah, and of course these appeared in Thomas and the Magic Railroad.
It's true.
True. Yeah, my family visits Strasbourg almost every couple of years, and we always take the train ride there. So that's amazing. I didn't even know that these were out yet or on their way out.
There you go.
That's why Matt's here. Awesome.
Yeah. So that's everything I have to show.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Matt. A really amazing selection of products. And I mean, I really feel Bachmann, you really pushed the envelope this time with these announcements, from Scotsman to the retooled Thomas and Percy. I mean, these are things that the fans have been clamoring on for decades. So just to see them actually getting materialized now, I mean, it's really exciting. And I think we'll just look forward to seeing how they turn out in the months and years that lie ahead.
Yeah, me too. Even from the inside, it's just exciting watching these products, come to fruition.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Give it up for Matt out there. Great job.
All right. And unfortunately, I do have to get off because I have 2 young kids, as I probably say every single stream. But I will check back, Will, and watch the stream later, because I definitely want to see what you're going to be showing off.
Sounds good. Thanks so much.
And thanks for having me on as always.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Matt.
All right, Will, how you feeling?
I'm doing good. It's been a lot to take in. Just this past week, in terms of being a Thomas fan, has just been crazy in the best way. From everything being announced just in the news show, and then Bachmann, and then there's a Wonders of Sodor announcement as well. It's been a lot, but really great.
Right. And the majority of these too have been left field, things that we have not expected. I mean, there's rumors now that Stephanie and Boko are returning to the show.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll have to see what happens as far as Bachmann, hint, but
let's start with your shirt. I see the smoke.
There.
Okay.
There it is.
Cool.
Yeah.
Neat.
Yeah, this is my classy Thomas shirt. I have a Strasbourg one too, but this is my nicer-ish one, I guess you could say.
Is that a custom one? I haven't seen that one.
It's from an online, an artist online put it for sale on different products. Yeah, and then I bought it a few years back. Yeah.
Very neat.
This is my shirt when I'm a bit too embarrassed to wear a Thomas promotional picture or whatever, so I wear this instead, and it's a little bit more subtle, but still, still kind of nice.
I think you're the first guest we had. We talked about apparel before we talked about the trains. Well, that's cool. Really neat.
Yeah, thanks.
Good style. I really like it.
I think the other apparel talk we had was when I had the Hawaiian Thomas for the show.
That's right.
Oh,
I still have that.
I'm gonna have to
Still
watch
have
that
that shirt,
stream.
Ken. Still have it.
Yeah.
I probably should have put it on because it is the summer, but
That's right.
we'll,
That's
we'll
right.
save it for next
Next
month.
time. Next time.
Yeah. All right,
time
but without
when Will's
further
on.
ado, guys, we're gonna hit it right off to Will.
Sounds good. All right,
so
so
Will, please first tell us like what first got you into Thomas and such.
yeah, for sure. So going way back, I guess I got a wooden Thomas set and the best of Thomas, Percy, and James on DVD for Christmas one year from a relative. And then my parents just bought me more wooden trains, more DVDs from there. I got a lot of the Totally Thomas DVD packs, which is where I got most of my classic DVDs from over time. And then it just kind of stuck. I kept collecting. I only really collected the wooden trains when I was little. I didn't collect Trackmaster or Take Along or anything like that. And then eventually I sort of grew out of Thomas for a little while. I guess I didn't keep up with the show as often around the CGI era. I kind of tapped out. But then I came back in and I sort of rediscovered, or I discovered for the first time that there was this active fan base online making videos, sharing stories, and posting obscure Thomas memes on all the social media platforms. And I just thought it was really cool. And then I guess I'd been making Thomas videos for myself and just sharing them with a few friends for a while. But then around, I think, 2021, I think I posted my first videos publicly on my Sooty Will YouTube channel. And then it's been fun ever since then. I'd like to think that I've gotten a bit better at filming episodes and music videos and that sort of thing. But yeah, and here we are. And so I collected wooden trains when I was a kid, and then I sort of moved over to finding Erdls in antique stores and things like that. And now I collect mainly Bachmann.
Fantastic. And you have some incredible videos on your YouTube channel. I mean, Ken, I don't know if you've seen some of his episodes, but he's got some crazy practical effects like explosions. I mean, he literally does legit explosions with his Bachmann Thomas engines. I'll have to send you a clip of that at some point. I don't think you've seen it yet. But
what's your handle on YouTube?
I think it's just at Sooty Will, just one word. Yeah. Yeah, the big video that really, I mean, it didn't go viral or anything, but the big one that really took off was Diesel to the Rescue, which I made in 2021 and 2022 or 23. I don't know, one of those ones. But yeah, that was the big one that really became, I think it's one of my most viewed videos now and what most people know me for, I think.
Oh, wow.
Incredible.
These views are tremendous.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
Yeah, and
One
some of
has
his
over
music videos too.
224,000 views. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. Very impressive.
Yeah, thank you. A few of those views are from old music videos that took off, but those aren't my best work anymore, so I don't really count those. But yeah, the views have been getting quite big recently, especially.
Really amazing.
Which I thank you guys so much.
Videography, like school or just because of Thomas, you just started playing and one thing led to another.
Yeah, I mean, I'd always been telling little stories or filming really amateurish videos on my little point and shoot camera when I was a kid. But yeah, just a combination of making videos with my friends from school, making videos for school. I did some like Lego stop motions for a little while, and then that sort of got me into making stuff for school and so on, and then for YouTube after that. And then shortly after I started my Bachmann Thomas collection, I just sort of realized, well, why don't I try filming my own stuff? Because I have all this, I'm slowly building up this collection, and it'd be really fun. So yeah. And then I've been studying it in school. I've just recently taken some courses on directing, cinematography, editing, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, well, and it really shows. I mean, again, the effects are amazing, and the fact that they're not just edited in and animated, they're actually practical. I mean, that to me makes it even more impressive because there's like life or death there. If you're not setting up that explosion at the right time around you, you could sincerely injure yourself. Anyways, but
Yeah, thank you
but
so
I
much.
digress.
All right. Side note from Thomas, you're a Zootopia fan?
Right. Yes. My
I,
icon on
yeah,
YouTube is a character from from Zootopia. Yeah.
I actually recently saw the movie maybe like 2 months ago, and I thought it was like one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. I was
Oh, I'm
cracking
glad.
up. Yeah,
I approve. I approve
good
of
show.
this.
Yes.
I do have a few.
Good taste.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I have a few Easter eggs on my layout that'll show you guys in a few minutes as well. Of course.
Yeah. A few minutes. How about a few seconds? I think we're all ready to take a look at that layout you've got over there, Will.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. Okay. So how are we doing for time? Because I'll keep an eye on the clock as we move on here.
We're good. I think we have got a solid half hour. Yeah.
Half hour. Okay. Sounds good. Okay. I'm just putting you guys on the smaller tripod here, so I can put you guys on the table here. Okay. All right, so let's go over to my layout here. So my dad actually built this giant wooden table a few years after we started collecting the model train stuff. And so I think it's like 6 feet by 3 feet here. I'll switch the camera around here. It's that camera. All right, here it is. Okay, there we go. I'm kind of mirrored here. Okay, I think I'm mirrored, but hang on. Okay, I think it's, yeah.
We can see it clearly, yeah, whether it's mirrored or not.
Okay, no worries. Okay, yeah. So yeah, so so this is my train table that I film all my videos on here. You can see the backdrop that I got many years ago that I still use. It's seen better days, but that's the one that's in all my videos there. And yeah, so this is the layout that I built here. I tried to cram in a bunch of like mini sets from my videos. There's Tidmouth Station, the Scrapyard, and some of the seaside stuff that I made for the Percy's Seaside Trip music video a year or two ago. But yeah, so I guess I'll start off with the sort of mini Knapford, or not Knapford, Tidmouth Station set here. So one thing about my sets and my videos is that I try to make everything reusable. So while this might not be the most polished Tidmouth Station, what I like about it is that everything can be dismantled and reused over and over again. So like the buildings are just these big wooden blocks that I've used for the interior of the scrapyard, or to make walls along Knapford Yard or things like that. And then like all the windows and stuff are just like cardstock cutouts, and they're just taped or sticky tacked on for now. But that means that I can take them apart and then, reassemble them in any configuration that I like, or, put posters on different walls in the background or things like that. And as you can see here, I've also, I reused the Knapford Station canopies here because I thought they looked close enough to the ones on Tidmouth Station. And then they're sitting on top of this custom base made out of Meccano here. And then I 3D printed just recently these support beams, which actually have little slots. Whoop. Sorry, can't really show it here. Well, they have little slots for the Meccano to slide into, so that the canopy can stay upright. But yeah, so I think I used, so I mean, I've dismantled it many times, of course, but this was, I think, mostly used in my Missing Coach episode and a few of my music videos here and there. And it's one that I keep coming back to because I really love this station in season 2, especially like Thomas Comes to Breakfast and all those episodes from that season, especially. But as I was talking about earlier here, I'll show you guys some of my little custom figures here. If I can get it here, so this out of the way. I'm gonna just slide this out here. There we go. I'm gonna be sort of taking some things apart as I move around the layout here. But yeah, I've got some 3D printed characters here from different cartoons and movies and things. Some of my favorites. When I was a kid, I always loved seeing the like Easter eggs in Pixar movies and things like that. And so when I made my videos, I figured, well, I should put all my favorite characters and all my favorite shows and stuff in my videos just in the background here and there. So yeah, we've got yeah. So they're printed to be more in scale with the Bachmann figures here. So here is just Sir Topham Hatt beside Wallace and Gromit here. So he's okay. Well, there he goes. But actually, I'll take off the tripod here so you can get a closer look. So I didn't model these myself for the most part. Oh, there we go. But I did paint them. There we go. There's Wallace and Gromit there. We got the two Zootopia characters over here. We got Tintin, and Snowy was around here somewhere. His dog. I don't know where he went, but he's around here somewhere. We've got some more characters. There's Mr. Wolf, Bugs Bunny, and Daffy Duck there. And then on the end here is the cartoon dog Balto from another one of my favorite films over here. I also have some like posters of these characters and from their films and things. There are some wanted posters here with those characters. There's some Looney Tune Easter eggs here on the side of the station. But yeah, just little things that I like to hide around my layouts and sets and things like that. So I'll push this back in, and I'll just reset everything here. Yeah, so that's the little, I guess, mini Tidmouth Station set. There's just some random set dressing back here. Some more wanted posters. Wooden railway cargo. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, this is from my childhood, actually. Yeah, this and yeah, this too. Yeah, yeah. I still use those every so often. Yeah. But yeah, I guess then I'll move over this direction here. So this is my custom Arthur here. I got this from a lot. I think he might be dead. His motor was smoking when I last ran him, so I don't know if he actually works anymore. But yeah, it was a very old model from like the 50s or 60s or something. So it obviously is secondhand, so it's not a big deal. I'll probably get a replacement motor at some point. But yeah, so I deassembled him. I took apart his valve gear many times, painted all of his wheels up. This is my first attempt at doing like lining and decals, so it's not the best or anything, but I tried my best. There's just like some very thin like masking tape and some very roughly cut out decals there. But I think it gets the job done. And then there are also a handful. Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say, no, on camera it looks very convincing. I like it. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. And then I also 3D printed a few parts on him, so like the lamp irons, these little red bits there. I don't know what they're called. I think there's a little box under his face there, and his coal load is also 3D printed there, just to make it look a bit more like the character in the show. But yeah, so hopefully he'll be in some episodes after he gets a working motor. But for now, he's just a static in the background kind of character. But moving on, okay, I'll show you guys some of the custom trucks and their loads here. Oh, here's Fergus as well. So Fergus was modeled in gauge 1 scale by Jamos Trenos. And so then I scaled the model down. Oh, sorry, the camera's getting reversed here. I scaled him down to HO scale here, and he's not motorized or anything. He's just a freewheeling one. But this is probably my favorite custom out of all of them. I think I mean, it was based on the gauge 1 model, so it's definitely the most accurate. But in terms of painting, I think it turned out the best as well. And then I glued in the capsule play rail figure there because I figured he's always going to have a driver, so it should always be there. And then the face is from a take along Fergus that I cannibalized. But
nice.
Yeah. So yeah, and then he was in my
favorite.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then I used him for my most recent music video for his song. How's it go? There once was an engine who ran away. Yeah, so that was a fun video to do. But yeah, and then hopefully at this time I'll show you guys the large scale Fergus that I printed as well. But oh yeah, really quick, here are the remains of Scruffy here. This is not the actual Bachmann model. I just 3D printed this. Again, this is made by Jamos Trenos, and then I tried to paint it to look like the Bachmann model, and then I just cut it up, and I used it for the remake of Toad Stands By in my Don't Judge a Book music video. But yeah, there he is. He's dead now. But anyways, okay. And then here are some things that I modeled myself, or at least the loads. So here is the oops, sorry, the reverse camera is kind of throwing me off a bit. So here are the milk churn loads from Thomas's Milkshake Muddle. So I muddled this myself in a software called Tinkercad, which is like a very primitive 3D modeling software. And then I tried to print it to be sort of like the Bachmann coal loads, where it has these little legs on the bottom, so that when you slide it into the trucks, it's just level with the top there, so you don't have to have a full truck or anything. So yeah, I didn't really need this for any specific video. I just wanted to make it because it was fun. And then the next one here is the strawberry loads from, I think the episode was Too Hot for Thomas. So again, very similar thing. I just printed this little base with legs here, and then I 3D printed all the little strawberry loads and then just glued them in like that. And that's always a fun one because the hit era isn't my favorite era of the show or anything, but it is very nostalgic, and I had all of these episodes on DVD, so I wanted to have some physical representations of those cargo loads. And then moving on, there's a fish load from the episode Fish. Again, very same thing, just this flat load with these little legs here, and then it just slides in like that. So yeah, those are my 3 hit era loads there. Well, actually, here's one more. So this is one that I have definitely not showed off in any videos yet. This is, so not sure if you can see it here. This is the iconic stinky cheese load from the greatest episode of all time, Thomas and the Stinky Cheese. So I had no reason to make this, but I thought it would be fun. And it was just a fun novelty thing to 3D print and then to cut out all the little cheese icons and glue them on. It was a really strange project, but it was fun. And so it just slots into the Bachmann flatbed here with these little grooves or whatever on the bottom here. So don't expect to see this in any of my videos in any of my videos anytime soon, but there it is.
It's impressive. Honestly, it looks just like the prop. Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah, there's only a few pictures of it, so I'm glad that it turned out.
Yeah.
But moving on, there are a few custom trucks here. I believe these were all modeled by Bachmann Trains again, and then I modified them to fit on different chassis. So this is meant to be the pipe wagon from, I think, Edward Strikes Out here. So this just fits on a generic, I think it was a Hornby chassis or something like that. But I took off the top part and then just put this 3D printed part on top, so it can easily just come off like that, so you can swap it out. There's the China clay truck here. I think I shortened this one in Tinkercad, and then I weathered it a bit to look more like the prop from season 2. So it's got some sort of like dusty weathering on it like that. And then this fits onto the Bachmann salt wagon chassis, just like that. It just slides on. So that way I can like easily just swap them out whenever I want to use the salt wagon or the China clay trucks or what have you. Over here is, I forget what I think these are the Linton and Barnstaple vans, I think, from season 3 or something like that. These use the chassis of the Bachmann mail trucks, and then again I modified the models to just fit over top of them. Like that. And then I think last over here, in terms of the custom models, is the this fish van from season 4, I think it was. And again, this is modeled by Bachmann Trains, and then I just weathered it a bit. I put my name on the back because why not? But yeah, so these were shortly after I got my new 3D printer, and so I was just really desperate to try 3D printing some fun stuff. And yeah, it was just a fun time to try out to make all these obscure trucks from the different eras and or whatever. And here's a sort of a rusty scrap flatbed over here, and this fits onto the bogies from the Bachmann mail van as well.
Nice.
But yeah, that's my little scrapyard set here. There's just some more 3D printed engines that I've weathered and cut up and everything like that. There's the destroyed lorry from my most recent episode, Scared Steamless, over here. This is meant to be a copy of the Erdl van, and then I just tried to paint it up in the same colors. And then actually, I'll turn on the lights in here so you can see it a bit better. Oops. There we go.
Nice.
Here's a model of the claw or the grabber from the Stepney Gets Lost. So this was something that I modeled myself in Tinkercad, and I needed it just for, I think, the duck episode as well. And also these big metal doors here were based on the ones from the Scaredy engines, I think it was. But yeah, I think that covers about everything in the scrapyard set. And then there's a few other buildings that I just put over top and around it to make it like just some other buildings from my videos and so on. Okay, but moving on. Thank you. But moving on, I think I will go to the narrow gauge stuff. So I started collecting the narrow gauge or the. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Sorry. Love the layout and everything you did. It's unbelievable, really nice. I do have to hop off, so I just want to apologize. But really unbelievable stuff you got there.
No worries. Thank you so much. That's great.
Thank you so much. Sorry.
Thank you.
Sorry, guys.
No problem. See you later, Ken. And then there were 2, anyways.
All right. Okay, I'll try to speed through a bit more because I don't know how much time we have left. But moving on to the narrow gauge
No worries.
stuff. Okay, so yeah, I started collecting the N scale and the narrow gauge stuff just a few years ago. Over here, I have some custom slate trucks here. I liked the Bachmann one, but I also wanted to have the larger versions from like season 4 and 5 and that sort of thing. I forget who modeled this. Forgive me. I think it might have been Jamos Trinos. I'm not sure. But and then again, I scaled them to fit on. I think these were actually N scale chassis. I had some goods vans that were kind of out of scale with the other characters or N scale things that I had. So I just ripped off the tops and then glued these slate trucks on top. But I did also I did model the slate loads, very similar to the Bachmann trucks as well. So now they can just be empty trucks like that. Oops. And then I 3D printed the some couplings to work to be compatible with the narrow gauge Bachmann characters too. So there's some little hook and loop couplings there as well. And the faces are just from some capsule play rails. I think there's one of the old Japanese N-scale Thomas toys here on that truck there. But yeah, those are my slate trucks there.
Yeah, I was going to say, those look capsule to me. I was wondering.
Yeah. This is I think this is Bullstrode's face. Yeah, capsule Bullstrode. This is another capsule truck. This is from yeah, there they all go. And then these are just from capsule, and then this is from one of the trucks from the Tomix Thomas range, I think. Yeah. But yeah. And then moving on over here, in terms of custom 3D printed stuff, I have some of the Vicarage beehives from James Goes Buzz Buzz here. Just a fun thing I wanted to make because they were pretty simple to model and then print afterward. And there was no painting required either, so that was always nice. And then moving on here, I don't think there's any other custom things around here. Really quick, here's my Bandai Herald. So he's on top of this tree here. He's actually impaled on this tree here, so he can stand upright. And I can't show it to you now because it's kind of finicky, but he does have a motor inside of him that can spin his propeller around.
Wow.
So it's a vibrating coreless motor that you would see in like kids' toys or like old smartphones or things like that. And so I glued the top of the motor to the propeller here, so that when you insert like a button cell battery, it can spin around infinitely, basically.
Wow, now that is cool. Wow.
Yeah, I'd love to get it like, I mean, somehow like remote controlled or something because it's very finicky. But yeah, it was cool. It is cool to have like a sort of working Herald model.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then back over here, I guess. Oh yeah, so I guess the other. Oh yeah, these things. So this bridge, really quick, is meant to be my version of Renee's bridge from season 4, I think. So I found this at a hobby store, and it was actually like dark brown, and it was really. I mean, there were no like fences on it or anything. It was really in rough shape. So I 3D printed. What is that the way here? So I 3D printed the like little fence railings here with holes in them, and then I very, very carefully threaded the string through all the different holes on each side of the bridge, and it took a long time, but it's one of my favorite models, I think, just because it's very delicate, but I think it's one of my best models, I think. And then I also
it looks great. Wow.
Thank you. And then I 3D printed a few extra cross beams on the legs here just to make it look a bit more like the one in the show. And then I think lastly, in terms of the narrow gauge stuff, is this crane here. So this was actually I get it disconnected here. That's stuck. Okay. Well, anyway, it's stuck on the slate truck here. 1 second. Oh, sorry, the hook. There we go. Okay. So this was just a generic N-scale crane, actually, that had like a cover over the top. But then I took off the cover, and then I 3D printed a few custom parts onto it to make it look a bit more like the one on the narrow gauge railway in season 4, I think it was. So like these gears for example, the counterweight on the back there, the little legs on the side, the square buffers here. Yeah, square buffers on the back are 3D printed. And so I glued on all these little extra components and then just spray painted the whole thing in this dark red to make it look a bit more like the one from the show.
Nice.
So it doesn't really work anymore because there's so many glued parts on it. But so it's kind of just like a static piece or like a piece that just gets pulled along by a train. But yeah, it's a nice piece. Put that back over here. I'm destroying bits of my layout as I go along. There's just wreckage everywhere now, but it's fine. It's fine. Okay, and then I'll move over to this side of the layout. So this is probably my favorite section. So I think it was last year I wanted to make a music video for Percy's Seaside Trip, and there's a line in that song that goes buckets and spades, all the fairground arcades. So I figured, well, I need some arcade games and stalls and everything. So I kind of went crazy and I just modeled a whole bunch of things, and I spent weeks putting them all together for this one music video. But yeah, this is probably some of my favorite stuff here. So I guess I'll start with over here in the back corner. Oh yeah, so here's my custom Billy model. I believe this was so the original one was made by someone named I think TTTE Boy on Tinkercad, who's made a whole bunch of the classic characters and hit era characters. And then I modeled him to be 3D printable in like chunks. So like his cab and his boiler is one chunk, his roof is one chunk. So it'd be a bit easier to print and paint. And he's just a freewheeling model. He just gets pushed along or just sits in the background. But yeah, it was a fun little project either way. And then over here, these are some of the balloon loads from that one learning segment and that one Trackmaster toy, I think. Again, I didn't really, yeah, I didn't really need these for anything. I just thought that they would be fun because my new printer was able.
Yeah. They came with the Tommy Rosie, right, back in the day.
I think so. Yeah, but they're also fun because my new 3D printer could print all the different colors at once. Like it could do all the blue and then all the yellow and so on as it went up each layer. So I didn't have to paint these at all. I could just print them as they were in these 4 different colors here. But yeah, so I've only used them once, I think, but they were fun to make. And then over here, I guess, is the first of the little arcade stalls. I have my shoot a duck stand. A bit morbid, but this is for that music video, the Percy's Seaside Trip. And then it actually has a little axle on the back here, so you can plug in a Lego motor and have the ducks spin around on the little axle here, like so.
Oh wow, that's nice.
So yeah, that was a fun little.
And that stall was completely 3D printed.
Yeah. Except for the little cardstock like plaque here or the name board or whatever. Yeah. So I printed everything kind of sideways so that like the printer could do like all the white on this piece and then all the red and then all the white again. So it would always print like upward like this. Yeah. And then I assembled it all together, and yeah, the guns are a bit big, but you know, it was as big as I could, or as small as I could make them for the printer to handle. So, but yeah, that's that stall there. And then I'll move over to this one is probably the most delicate, but also my favorite one, I think. This is meant to be the ice cream stall from season 8 or 9 or something like that. So this is, again, I modeled this myself in Tinkercad. The 3D printer again did all of the pieces separately, so like it would print like sideways like this, where all the yellow and then all the white and then all the red and so on as it went upward. And then I painstakingly glued all the pieces together. It's very fragile. I'm sure it's broke a couple of times at least, but it's one of my favorite ones, I think.
Yeah, it's a nice piece. Yeah,
and
honestly, then I thought that was the Hornby model. For a second.
Yeah, I found out shortly after that Hornby did make a model of this, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? I spent like 2 weeks on this, and I could have just bought one." Whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then over here, I'll see if I can maneuver my way in here. Okay, the camera's so this is the my ring toss stand here. Again, very similar to the shoot a duck stand here. There's the bullseye stand. This is one that was kind of based on the classic series one from, I think, Make Someone Happy. But yeah. But then I did it in yellow just to be a bit different, I think. And then at the back here is the Smasher Plate stand. This was definitely based on the one from that episode.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, they're always like, I always loved that episode, but I wanted to see more of those like little stalls and things. And same with like there was one episode, what was it? The Thomas Tries His Best or something, where they have all the carnival stuff, but you only get to see it on screen for like 10 seconds.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, so it was fun to make it. Oh, and of course this iconic clown too from that
Yes.
episode as well.
Yeah, I gotta get one of those too. Add that to my layout. Such an iconic piece.
It's so strange. I love it.
Yeah,
But yeah, and then some the two biggest pieces here. This is the I think they call it the Helter. Oh, there's also the Strongman game here. That this is also from season 8, I think, or something like that. Yeah, it's not very stable, but there it is. And then yeah, this is the Helter Skelter slide. Are we good?
Yeah, I'm sorry, my dehumidifier just kicked on very aggressively, so I had to
Oh,
shut it
no
off.
worries. No worries.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is my the slide from season 8 or 9 or something like that. This is the hardest one to make by far, because I couldn't have the printer do all the colors by itself because it would take like 16 hours or something to do yellow and red for every layer going up. So I printed the whole thing in, I think, just red, and then I printed these like yellow pieces separately so I could just glue them into the little slots. So that way it wouldn't take nearly as long to a 3D print. And I think I modeled this myself, except for the slide piece and the flags. I think those are models from online too. But yeah.
Yeah, honestly, when I saw that Percy Seaside Trip video you did, this was like the #1 piece I was really looking at, this slide. I was like, he got that crystal accurate. I don't know what he did. So
Well, thank you. Yeah. I mean, it was also helpful because it was shortly after the prop store auction where we finally got really clear pictures of all these props and they were going up for sale. So I was really inspired by that. I have a few trucks left, but is this Ferris wheel here? This is again based on the one from season 8 or 9 or 10 or something like that. So again, I think I modeled all of this myself in Tinkercad. The funny thing with this model is that when I made it, sorry, I'll just move over here a bit. There we go. So the seats were a bit of a problem because I printed them with, I printed the main frame of the wheel, I guess, with little holes, but they didn't print correctly on the printer. So I had to use poster pins to attach all the wheel or all the seats onto the main frame, I guess. And so there are a bunch of little poster pins glued through the wheel or like through through the frame and then glued inside of little handlebars here. So it's the most delicate, I think, but I'm really happy with how it came out.
yeah.
And then the other problem was that when I put the figures in, the seats would lean back like at a 45-degree angle, and so it didn't really look right. So then I had to buy a couple of like little fridge magnets to put in these little counterweights here, so that all the seats would like lean forward as it spins around. Because because like Ferris wheels don't go sideways or anything like that. So they all had to like rock freely, but still go back to their original position, like on the real thing. But yeah, I think that's all of my Seaside stuff.
Yeah, phenomenal, really, really phenomenal work here.
Thank you so much. And then really quick, how are we doing for time? I have a few things I want to show still, but
Please go for it.
Okay, sounds good. And then these were some more things I just made for fun here. These are the circus fans or wagons and things from the season 12 episode Rosie's Fun Fair special. I think that's the one. So very similar to the trucks that I showed earlier. These just sit onto Bachmann chassis here. So this Kyle truck is one that I made myself, or that I modeled myself, and then it sits onto the just a generic troublesome truck chassis there. And I've got 2 of these. And again, the only reason I made this was because my printer was able to do all the red and all the yellow together, so it was less painting required on my end. So that was very nice. And then here is the circus wheel seat flatbed from that episode, the one that like crushes into Emily, I think.
That's right.
Yeah. So these are just some more of the Ferris wheel seats here. I had this extra flatbed here that I got from I got secondhand from somewhere, I forget where, but I painted it up to look like the one from the hit era with the red chassis and the yellow base or whatever you call it there.
Nice. And
I know that Hornby did make this flatbed, but I didn't think it looked very good, so I wanted to make it myself. But also, I also made this tent load here, which slots really well. Oops, sorry. Slots really well onto the flatbed here, because this is one of my favorite circus trucks from the hit era, so it slots on just like that.
Yeah.
And then these are just bits of twine just stuck on the side here.
It's awesome.
But yeah, that's that wagon. And then last but not least are the two probably silliest trucks that I've made besides the balloon loads. Just for fun, I made the infamous pink sugar truck that kills Stepney in that episode.
And from the whole series.
And from the whole series until now. Apparently. And the coconut loads that spill out on the crossing in that episode too. Just so that Rosie could have a full or sort of a full train from that episode. So I don't plan to use these anytime soon in any videos, but they may pop up in the background. I don't know.
Well, I got to tell you, assuming that Matt's watching this at a later point, Matt, I'm talking to you right now. In the future. Those funfair vans sold extremely well in HO. Assuming that they continue to sell very well, these are some excellent ideas for future rolling stock in HO or really any of the scales. Because clearly there's a market for some of that funfair stuff, and I think this is just a perfect example of that.
Yeah, for sure. I still need to pick up the funfair wagons. They are on my list of like my most wanted ones. I'm gonna get them soon. I promise.
Awesome.
But yeah. Okay. So I think that's everything I wanted to show on the layout. I actually have one more model that I haven't shown off in any videos yet. I'm gonna set you guys down on the tripod really quick so that I can go grab it here.
Awesome.
I was keeping it hidden because I didn't want to give it away. So I'll just set you guys on the tripod here, and then I'll go and pick it up. Okay, I'll be right back. 2 seconds.
No worries. That's right. I do agree. Delicious. Now, if only there was an oatmeal raisin car.
An oatmeal raisin car?
Because that is actually my favorite cookie. A whole nother story.
Yes. Yeah, I gotta grab the syrup or the chocolate syrup tanker when it comes out, and all those good things as well. At first, when I first started collecting the Bachmann line, I was like, I don't really want all of the hit era stuff like the raspberry syrup tanker. But then, for whatever reason, as I got older, I was like, they're really fun and colorful, and it's just fun to have them in trains in the background and stuff.
Definitely.
But here's probably my best and most recent model, I think, and I'll show it off here. Here is the jet engine.
Wow. Now that is impressive. Wow.
So I made this, I think, a year or two ago, actually, all in Tinkercad. I modeled, I think, all of this by myself, I think. And then I kind of put it aside, and then I got back to it a few months later. But yeah, this is one of my favorite models for sure. And so it just sits on the bogies from the Bachmann mail vans or the flatbeds, and then it just goes into these little pegs here like this. So they don't stay on, but I mean, it's on the track, so it doesn't really need to.
Yeah, lots of excited comments. Why is oatmeal raisins compared to chocolate? Oh my gosh. We're going to go through a whole digression here. But I'll leave that up to you. All I'll say is oatmeal raisin gives me the energy I need to succeed.
They're not that bad, I guess. I can live with that.
Isn't that true, Rishi? Anyhow, sorry, I digress.
No worries. And then one other feature of this jet engine that I made just recently. Here, I'll just set it down here if I can get it. So I printed this just this past week, actually, just for this live stream. So I can't pick up the wheels at the same time, but I'll pick it over here. Is that I also gave it a working light. And there it is. So that just sits in the back. I had like just a regular engine with no light in it, but then I ripped that out and then I put this one in. And the way it works is that there's just a little LED light in this little 3D printed casing here. And then there's a button cell battery that's shoved into the back in between the two prongs, I guess. And then it just sort of sits inside of the jet engine as it goes around.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my well, one of my big surprises, I think, is that I haven't shown this off in any videos yet. So I was really excited to show it off in this live stream.
That's awesome. So stay tuned, guys. He's going to have something up in store in the coming months.
I've had some fun ideas for how I could use it, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. So I thought about maybe just like a background joke, just see someone passing by with it and be like, hey, wait a second, was that the jet engine? Or like an HL model of it? Wait a minute. But not to be eaten. Is that what someone just said?
Yes.
How dare you? It looks very tasty.
Awesome.
All right.
Well, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Did you say you wanted to run something?
So I have two more things I wanted to show, but I can skip over one of them if there's not enough time.
That's all right. Maybe just you know, the short version if it's possible.
Okay, sounds good. I'll put you guys back on the bigger tripod over here really quick. Yeah. So sorry about this. Just put it back up. The last thing I wanted to show before we head out is that I have put lights throughout the layout. So I just want to show that really quick because I don't do that very often in my videos.
Oh, okay.
Get that going here. So I'll be right back. I'm just going to turn on a few lights here and there, and then, yeah. So you guys saw the smelter's yard light earlier.
Yeah.
Turn on quick here. And I got a few more hidden around the layout. There we go. That one there. And then I also have the fun fair lights over here. All right, can you guys see that okay? Or is it a bit dark? Here, I'll bring you guys over.
We can see it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was very much, I've always wanted to try and recreate the feeling from the Choo Choo Barn layout in Strasbourg, where it sort of like rotates between the day and night cycles. So I wanted to do that for this live stream here with this layout here. So I've got these remote control activated lights under the signal box and the cottage and Knapford Station in the smelter's yard. And I've also got these sort of flashy rainbow lights for the fun fair and everything over here as well. But yeah, that's pretty much, yeah. So that was my last surprise, I think, was the lights and the jet engine. So yeah, if we need to wrap up soon, no worries.
Oh, no worries. Yeah, no, and are we foreshadowing like a night train music video?
Maybe. There are a few more that I want to get to, but that is a good idea. That's a good idea.
Nice. Because that
We'll
would be
see.
perfect with lighting. Well, really impressive
Okay.
stuff, Will, and thank you so much for going through a lot of your models that you've developed in the past year. I mean, the fun fair ones in particular. I mean, when I saw the Ferris wheel and the slide and those stalls, I was like, this guy has quite the eye for 3D printing models. And I do have to wonder if you would take commissions, because I might have to hit you up in the future for a few of these.
Maybe, yeah, for sure. We can definitely be in touch over that. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. All right, and I'm just going to share my screen one more time, guys, before we wrap up, just to reiterate what Train World has as far as the Thomas selection. So right here is our Train World homepage. You go over to brand, go over to Thomas and Friends Railway. Yeah, you notice we have, once again, our huge selection of primarily Bachmann Thomas products. You can specify by scale, manufacturer. You'll notice the majority, of course, as usual, just under 200 is Bachmann, so you can do that. And we'll also try to see. I'm not sure what new products Ken had put on the site so far. I don't think any of them, as far as the NMRA is concerned, but that'll come up probably as soon as pricing is figured out from Matt at Bachmann. But until then, just taking what we have here. And the summertime, it's a great time to really get into the hobby. For those of you who are perhaps in college or high school and have some, additional time this time of the year, definitely, get into, collecting more rolling stock or more scenic products just to really enhance the hobby to the highest extent possible. I know I'm just skimming through these pages here, but just to really go over again all the different scales that are possible. And there you have it. All right. So on that note, guys, happy Thomas Thursday, not Tuesday, second time now in a row. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more updates to come, and have a great day.
Thanks all. Bye.
Bye, everyone.